Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Tapping Out podcast. My name is Chris and today I am joined by independent pro wrestler Mike Anthony. Enough talk. Let's get right into it. Hello Mike, how are you doing today? Thanks for being on the show.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so how's the last 12 months been for yourself?
Pretty busy, man. So I was stationed over in Jacksonville. Well, not stationed, but I was living over in Jacksonville. That was kind of like home base, and due to some real life kind of responsibilities, I moved down to South Florida now. So I'm in like the Miami, Florida area. So that's been hectic, moving and getting down here and trying to kind of get into the scene down here. But before that, it was, just working my ass off and wrestling and going to school and just everything all at the same time. So yeah.
Right, just trying to juggle everything, yeah, just trying to balance it all.
Yeah, it's been hectic, bro. I don't know. I wouldn't wish it on anybody really, but it's a handful. But
Yeah, man,
you know what?
yeah,
You know what though? Like, just let me say that. So
sure.
I just said I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but you know what? If it's something that they love doing, you don't mind losing a few hours of sleep to that you want to do, then by all means, go do that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well said. Yeah, well said. Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? At the end of the day, it's all about the passion.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the icebreakers we're going to start with here. Mike, what's the worst haircut you've ever rocked?
um, how do I even explain what this haircut looked like? Because I have the picture of it in my mind. It's
Yeah.
so I was like, I don't know, 14 or something like that. And I went to a school where there was like a uniform code. And so you had to have your hair like, the rule was it had to be above your collar, right? So, but I was like, rebellious teenager kid. So I was like, no, I want long hair. But I had to have it above the collar. So I had this weird, like, long hair on the top, but it was like short on the back. Yeah, it was awful. I guess it looked to give it a word, it looked kind of like a pompadour, like Fonzie or something.
Okay,
Like
like a pompadour. Nice.
it is
Yeah.
terrible. Oh my god! Like I can see it in my mind now. It's giving me nightmare. Like I'm gonna have a nightmare about that tonight.
Oh,
Terrible.
well, I do apologize.
Yeah, thanks for that, bro. I appreciate it. You're giving me nightmares now.
All right. So you're talking about nightmares when you go to bed and when you wake up tomorrow, second icebreaker. So when you wake up in the morning, are you a coffee, tea, or tequila man?
I honestly don't even really have breakfast. I don't have anything until lunchtime usually. Probably just water. And that's a boring answer, but like, yeah, probably just water. Gotta
Okay,
keep hydrated. I'm not a
sure.
coffee guy. Coffee makes me sick almost.
Depends. Yeah, it
So I
depends on
guess
what kind of coffee.
yeah. So I guess out of the options that you gave me, I mean, I don't drink alcohol either. So I guess out of the options you gave me, probably tea.
Okay, tea. Nice one. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And last one. Are you familiar with Netflix? I'm sure you are. Everybody is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were a show on Netflix, what would you be? After
Hmm.
looking at your Twitter, I can imagine what kind of I can imagine, but I'll let you
Yeah.
answer.
Let's see. Um. Hmm. Probably like probably like Breaking Bad or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Just
Bad is
because
yeah.
yeah, just because like I mean there's some other shows that were on Netflix at some point that aren't on there now. Um like Sons of Anarchy. I love Sons of Anarchy. And I feel like I kind of fit into that world per se, but they're not on Netflix right now. So I guess if I had to choose one that's on there right now, it'd have to be Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Who's your favorite character from Breaking Bad?
Um,
Did you watch the whole thing?
Probably, yeah. It's probably Probably Jesse, just because of the amount of it's dips and dives his character goes through. Like he starts out as one completely different person. I mean, they all do, but more so Jesse, I think, than everybody. He starts out as one guy and completely ends the series as a completely different person. You know, like his character goes through such uh, an interesting arc that he's probably my favorite for sure.
Yeah, he was a standout character in a film I watched recently. Actually, I was recommended it by a friend. It's called Eye in the Sky. I'm not sure if you ever saw it. Came
No,
out
I
like
haven't seen that.
it came out like 2015, and it was based on a like a war zone in the Middle East. And Jesse, wasn't it Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul, yeah.
He played a drone pilot, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that he had that kind of range. I mean, I remember him from Breaking Bad, but it was like a whole different environment for him as this
Yeah,
pilot. Very good film.
yeah.
If you get the chance to see it, I would recommend it. Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out. I've seen a few movies with him. And Jesus Christ,
Oh God.
my cat just threw his food ball at me. Oh, can I say fuck? I'm sorry.
I'll show you. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, your Twitter, yeah, you TVMA. So don't worry about it if you wanna,
Yeah.
you wanna drop an F bomb or two. There, no worries. So let's get
I'll be good.
yeah, yeah. So let's get a little bit into what's really going on at the moment for you in the world of
Sure.
wrestling. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen on your Twitter you've got the upcoming match with another one of my guests who I had on a while ago, Cole Bohannon. Yeah, you'll be having
Yes, sir.
a fight with him in CWF. So tell
Yeah,
us
well,
tell
actually,
us how that came about. Yeah.
yeah. So actually, that match got changed to a tag, and they thought it would be a great idea to put us together as a team, even though we are primarily rivals in the wrestling scene. So that should be interesting. I think you know I don't necessarily trust him. He definitely doesn't trust me. But you know, maybe we can make some magic out of it. Who knows? But
Okay.
yeah, so it's going to be a tag team match in a tournament for the first ever CWF tag team champions. So I mean, that'd be pretty sweet to get to the finals and win the thing.
Sure.
But it's going to take a lot of counseling and trying to figure some things out between me and Cole because Lord knows we have a history. So
Yeah.
But you know, you never say never in this business, right? So
Sure. One thing, definitely one rivalry or feud that comes to mind when you're talking about the people who were in a tag team and then, they fought against each other. I can think of was Daniel Bryan and Kane. Yeah, they did the whole.
yeah,
They did the counseling and then.
dude, I love that, man.
That was such a good feud.
That was like 2013, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I was like a senior in high school when that was going down, and I thought that was like the best thing ever because I've always loved Kane and Daniel Bryan's great, and it was like perfect. And I'm, maybe something like that can happen with me and Cole Bohannon, but I guess we won't really know until we get out there in front of people and see what happens. But
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So May 7th, yeah, May 7th is the date.
Yeah. Yep.
Soon, yeah.
May 7th. It's in Milton, Florida. It's like a town just outside of Pensacola. So if any of your listeners are in the area, it would be great for you guys to come see us. And there'll be merch tables, and you can come meet me, and you can come meet Cole, and you can come meet all the rest of the CWF stars that they got there. And they got guys coming in and out of there that are going on like AEW Dark and stuff all the time. Like so. Come through for sure. If you're in the area, come through because you might get to see some future stars, including me. Hopefully.
Since I kicked off this podcast, I'm really starting to realize just how big the wrestling scene is in Jacksonville in Florida. Yeah, like it's huge, absolutely huge. I always kind of knew, from watching like WWE or AEW. But now, after speaking to so many indie wrestlers too, it's so much potential and talent. in Florida.
Yeah, Florida's a huge state too, and there's like so many different regions. Like this part I'm in now, South Florida, is completely different, like culturally, than North Florida, like Jacksonville area. So like you're getting so many people, so many workers from so many different like backgrounds and creeds and whatever you have it, and it's just it's a great scene for sure because you're getting lucha, you're getting big guy, you're getting American strong style, you're getting Japanese, like you're getting all these different styles and all these different uh just it's a melting pot of wrestling in Florida. And that, I really like the scene here in Florida. That's great.
Yeah. And you have amazing theme parks too. Somewhere I've
Oh
always
yeah.
wanted to go to Florida, yeah, like Orlando, yeah. Hell, oh God, I
Yeah, I'm
that's my
actually
wish.
going to
Yeah.
I'm actually going to Disney in on the 28th of May to go to Star Wars World. I've been
Nice.
dying to go to Star Wars World and like actually experience it because I've been there a couple of times, but haven't like, been there for like a couple hours or something. I want to spend like an entire day there and see
Mhm.
like everything there is to see. So looking
Yeah.
forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
Nice one. We have I'm out here in China, and we have a Universal Studios now in Beijing, but can't get up there at the moment because of the latest epidemic, which is a shame.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, everything's still like shut down there, right?
Yeah, we're going through it. We're kind of having round two, yeah, 2 years after the fact.
Oh man,
Yeah, which is a shame.
that's crazy.
But
So
you know,
you're in China, right? So is it 6 a.m. there right now or what?
yeah, 6:13. I woke up today about 5. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
My mind was racing. So yeah, I went outside, I sat on my balcony, played some tunes and had a brew, had a cup of tea, and then yeah,
Yeah.
got kicked off. Yeah. Yeah. And I've
Wow,
got
that's awesome.
yeah, man.
What brings you to China?
I'm teaching. Been
Oh, okay,
I teach kindergarten as my main job, and
cool.
I kicked this off 2 years ago. I didn't really get much traction, and then I got busy with my full-time job. But since the latest epidemic, I've been able to just focus on this because I need to keep myself sane at the moment and keep
Gotcha,
myself busy. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks for inquiring. Yeah, thank you. All right.
Oh, for sure,
Uh,
man.
yeah, man. I forgot my next question. Oh yeah. So obviously that's with the CWF, your match with
Yes.
Cole, yeah. So how long have
Yep.
you been how long have you been involved with those guys, and how did it all kick off there?
Okay, so let's see, CWF. That's been how long? A few months, like 6 months, something
Mhm.
like that. Um, and that all started because a guy actually that I think you also interviewed, Donnie Harris Jr.
Yeah, the
Um,
ringside pitch man. Yeah,
yeah, he's my boy, bro. Him and I are so tight. Like uh,
he's so
he
cool on
he
Twitter. Like he's been giving me a lot of
he's a
support.
cool guy, man.
Yeah.
He's an awesome human being. But yeah, so he he kind of travels all over the place doing his ring announcing and stuff. And he was like, "Hey, bro, like, there's this really cool place over here, like the Pensacola area. You ought to come with me one time." And I kept kind of going back and forth about it. Like, I don't know, like, I'm comfortable because I was only working at one spot in Jacksonville, CCW, and I was, comfortable there. And I was like, I don't know, like, I don't really want to go around or whatever. And then eventually he convinced me and I went and wow, was he right? Because it's like such a different environment
Hmm.
than CCW. Um, like I said, there's guys coming in and out of there from AEW Dark,
Hmm.
what have you. So it's cool to get to meet these guys and kind of get their advice and their opinion on certain things. But I kind of went off topic,
Yeah,
but
no worries, no worries, man, no problem.
but aside from just having these quote unquote names on the show, like it's not even about that really. It's more just like the environment is so much different. Like it's so eh, laid back yet orderly, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's not the guy in charge of CWF. Ben, he's super chill guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't put up any bullshit, but he is straight and narrow, like, but respectable at the same time. Like, it's not like barking and pointing and shit like that. It's,
Uh-huh.
hey man, do me a favor and help me do this. Okay, cool. All right, but and everything is super organized without there being chaos, and I love that. Like and the that's become a place where me and my closer buddies in this business can go and uh, learn and grow our craft. Like, and at the end of the day, that's what this business is all about, right? Like, so
Yeah, it's all about evolving. Yeah. Yeah.
it's all about learning and
Mm-hmm.
evolving and doing what you can to climb. And other places will put handcuffs on you if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
And CWF's definitely not a place like that. And that's what I really appreciate about that.
I think that, yeah, I think that's what I also enjoy about watching AEW at the moment. When you compare it to, let's say, the big company,
right? Yeah.
AEW is, especially I was talking to someone in one of my previous interviews. We were talking about the tag team division, especially in AEW. It's so stacked, and it's so, I can't really describe how much better it is than the big company. The tag team matches are so good in AEW.
Yeah. Oh, it leaps and bounds ahead. Here's the thing though, right? Like, so when there's like billions of dollars at stake, I understand putting handcuffs on people, so like, if I got a call from Vince McMahon on my phone right now and he was like, hey boss, I want you to, or hey pal, I want you to come in and
do you think he'd call you pal?
He only calls everybody pal. That's what I thought, right? So,
okay, yeah.
So he called me up and be like, "Hey pal, listen, I want you to wear a fucking banana suit and look like a complete fool, but I'll pay you like $80,000 a year." I'll be like, "Okay, where do I sign? As long as the check's clear, I don't give a shit. Like, you could do that. You can tell me whatever,
Time to sell out. Yeah.
Right, but
yeah.
well, you know what? Is it selling out or is it buying in? I don't. It's all.
There you go. To use Seth Rollins' gimmick. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it sucks when I see guys that are ultra talented, have the look, have the promo, have the in ring, and they go somewhere that puts handcuffs on them and they don't make money. Like, it's you're on the indie scene, The indie scene's supposed to be somewhere where you're free to try shit and explore and get out there and meet people and this and that. And when you're held in this little cage by some indie feds, like, oh no, you can only work for here because, right, that it completely defeats the purpose, and B, you're wasting that guy's fucking career. It's upsetting because I'm not going to name any names, but I've seen a few guys come and go from this business that they don't ever leave that one spot. And if they had, they would have definitely made some money,
right.
And it's disappointing.
I think it's like with any sports or any entertainment industry. I think there's always going to be some toxicity with the fan base.
Oh, absolutely.
At
I mean, it's show business at the end of the day, right?
Sure.
So there's always going to be some, ringleader, stage mom type shit going on, and I wish it wouldn't, but it's the business, sadly.
What's been some of your most interesting since you got started properly, especially on Twitter? I see, you're making quite the following on Twitter. Have you had any standout moments with the fans or anything that comes to mind? Memorable stuff happened that's kind of stuck with you?
Well, so memorable experiences with the fans on Twitter specifically, or just in general?
Just in general, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here.
Oh, both. Good time.
I mean, I've had I had this one match. It was like uh, I guess you could call it like a no holds barred or street fight or something like that. So there was weaponry involved,
Hmm.
and there was this little girl, had to have been like 11, 10, something like that, that would always come to the shows, and I was like her favorite person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I I got my ass handed to me with the weaponry, and I got carried out, not and it was like the first time I ever got like this sort of reaction from somebody. Like she was like crying, like
Mm.
her mom had to like you know corral her and make sure everything was okay and everything. As I'm getting like I'm like limping out, like getting carried out or whatever. That was the first time I ever had like a guttural like
Mm.
reaction to something that I had done in the ring. Um, I think that's probably the most standout one to me.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
I
what
mean,
it's
there have
all
been
about.
times.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's
Yeah,
all
I mean,
about getting a
bro.
reaction, good or bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and yeah. I was about to say that
Mm.
because if you want to talk about other standout times where I've done something and I look and the crowd literally is just sitting there like this,
Yeah.
that's the fucking worst feeling on the
That would be
planet.
my biggest fear. Yeah, for sure. It's just going out and
Especially
getting no reaction. Yeah, yeah.
especially like on a promo, like in a match it's whatever, like you get through the match, you figure out a way to get them up enough so you can go home. But like in a promo, for me at least, I'm not, if I had to grade my promos, I'd say they're like like a C.
Okay.
Like they do the job, I hit all the points, and then I try to wrestle because that's where I stand out, I think.
Yeah.
But on the mic I'm not the best, I'll admit that. But so I was cutting a promo, and so the angle was my tag team partner had just been uh, attacked or beat up or something in the back. So he had been eliminated, or he there was an attempt for him to get hurt or something to that effect, right? And so I come out to the attacker and I have the microphone and I'm saying, and this person is well known in this fed. Like he's not well known necessarily worldwide or anything, but the people in Jacksonville that go to these shows would know who he is, right? And so I say, you came out here and you attacked so and so, the partner, and I tried to get a pop on the name when I said it, and I was just like let's just say his name's Bob, right? I was like, so you came out here and you attacked my partner Bob,
And
and they
nothing.
were just standing there looking at me, and I was just like, come on, let's give it up for Bob. And then they popped after that. But like,
Okay. It took a bit of extra effort there.
yeah, yeah, I was like, the legendary Bob. They're just not doing nothing.
The greatest of all time, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Bob.
Yeah, pretty much. I might as well have been like, yeah. I mean, this guy is, like I said, super well known. I figured I could get a pop, no pop. I was like, well, shit.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, so I quickly finished the promo and went to work, and yeah. So bottom line, memorable experiences are either super great,
Yeah,
reactions, or no reaction at all.
a proper roller coaster if you want to go back to this stuff in Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just remembering that now, and it's, oh my god, that was so bad.
That's good, man. That's what this pod's all about. I feel is recalling, the highs and the lows for sure. So
Yeah, no, I hadn't thought about stuff like that in a while.
Who you, just to stay on promos and stuff, is there anyone that you're focusing on when it comes to like inspiration nowadays? Any current workers that you're watching
For
through a different,
promos?
anybody that you watch through a different pair of eyes now, that you're looking to for inspiration for
Well,
promos?
for promos. So I actually did this thing recently where I was kind of just watching a bunch of like tape and old promos and stuff because
Yeah.
you know, to me at least, in my opinion, guys back in from like 2000 and before understood promo, and maybe a little later, but like from 15, 20 years ago, understood promos more than people do now.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of older promos, and when Scott Hall passed away, I went and watched a bunch of Scott Hall promos,
Right.
and I noticed that when he talks, he takes his time. He like okay, uh, I'm trying to think of an example, but like every word had a space in between it. Like it was very slow and
Mm-hmm.
methodical. And I noticed that when he does that, not only is it making the people have to listen because it's like, okay, what's this guy going to say?
Yeah.
But it gives himself time
To think, yeah, about
to
what's next.
think,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
like so his mouth is ahead of his brain and
Mm-hmm.
not vice versa, where his mouth's trying to catch up to his brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started doing the typical indie wrestler thing, going into the bathroom and looking at myself in the mirror and cutting a promo. And I started doing it that way. And I didn't film any of them, but I was like, dude, these are kind of good. Like maybe I should just talk a little slower and maybe I'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so him for sure. I mean, everybody obviously, loves CM Punk.
Right.
So
He's killing it in AEW.
I can never touch CM Punk like on the microphone, but you know, watching enough of Punk, it would help. Maybe some stuff will rub off. Like I don't know, but uh, Punk, like I said, Scott Hall. Let's see. I mean, Edge is a really good promo.
Still, as well, to this day, what a resurgence again for Edge, you know?
I know, right? It's
Like,
like this whole new persona. I haven't
yeah,
really seen a whole lot of it to be honest with you, but I've seen enough that I
yeah.
know that I like what he's doing. It's pretty cool. Um,
Kind of the new age of the brood, right? I'm thinking
yeah,
this.
it's like a new
Yeah,
brood almost, but like
yeah,
almost like a ministry too at the same time. It's like really cool.
yeah.
Whatever it is, he's
It's
killing
working.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Edge, Scott Hall, CM Punk.
CM
Anybody? And
Punk.
one more, yeah, one more too, maybe.
Sure, one more.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know who's really good that doesn't get enough credit is Bret Hart.
Right, yeah, and you know what? I was watching. Well, Dwayne Johnson was celebrating his birthday, right, yesterday or the day before. I can never tell whether that maybe mainly because of the time difference.
Right, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but like, yeah, it was recent, and I was watching Survivor Series '96. Yeah, and that's obviously when he debuted. And
Right.
then yeah, Bret Hart came out and had the match with Stone Cold, and it
Hmm.
was an incredible
That was
match.
where was that
Yeah,
where he made him pass out?
yeah, it's incredible. Like, and he
Yeah, that was
just
a great
he got
match.
such a pop in that match. But yeah, and you're right, underrated. You know, he said didn't get enough credit.
People say, oh, he's just a guy that was like exceptional in the ring, but he couldn't really talk. No, Bret Hart could
He could
freaking
do it
talk,
all.
man.
Yeah, yeah, he could do all it all. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he was awesome. But like, especially, I don't know if you've seen any of his WCW stuff where he like did not give a single fuck and just like was saying things like shit, what was the guy that he El Dandy, he kept saying like, oh, El Dandy deserves a match with me because he's great. Like the whole gimmick was he was trying to dodge everybody and he kept throwing out El Dandy's name for some reason. It was just
yeah.
hilarious. He's so good, dude. Bret Hart is so good.
Mhm. Definitely, man. All right, so let's dive into the past a little bit, shall we? Because I want to,
Okay, sure.
I want to dive into how it all kicked off for you. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so what's your earliest memory of pro wrestling?
My earliest memory of pro wrestling would have to be wrestling at a birthday party in front of a pretty substantial amount of people, but it was in a driveway of a house.
Hmm.
Um, this was I started training in 2013, the end of 2013, because I graduated high school in like May of 2013, and
Yeah.
then in like October of 2013, I was training. So yeah. So anyway, this was in a place called Opelika, I think. This is like a place in Miami called Opelika, and it was like I said, it was a birthday party for a kid at a house in a driveway, and that was like my first ever match, I guess, if you want to call it that, in front of people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that was pretty awesome. Um,
Can
I
you remember? Can you remember your? Did you have entrance music at the time? Can you remember what
yeah,
you had?
so
What you came out to?
I yeah, so I had so, well,
Yeah,
let me tell you a story to answer
yeah,
that question.
yeah,
So
yeah. Sure.
I come to training one time with I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Major League with Charlie Sheen. It's like a baseball movie.
Sounds. It rings a bell, but I've not seen it. Yeah.
All right, well, so the
Okay.
character
So tell us about it. Yeah. So tell us about it. Yeah, yeah,
so the
yeah.
character
Yeah.
in Major League played by Charlie Sheen is called Wild Thing Rick Vaughn. And so I had a shirt that looks like a baseball jersey, t-shirt, but it looks like a baseball jersey. On the back, it says Vaughn. It's got like the whole thing, right? And so I walk in and we're training one day, and the guy's like, you should, that'd be a cool name, like to come out to Wild Thing, and then whatever your name is, whatever. And so I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll do that. So I started coming out as Wild Thing Andy Maddox. That was my first
Andy Maddox.
ring
There you
name.
go. There you go.
Andy Maddox. That was my first ring name. And so I came out to Wild Thing, of course. Same exact version that Moxley comes out to right now.
Sure, sure. There you go. There's a
So
link.
yeah, so I came out, had this match. Um, took a this is my first match in front of people. Took a
Hmm.
freaking superplex off the. There's a superplex power bomb, where like the guy's on the top, and then
Yeah,
the guy runs over and power bombs, and everybody goes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, took that in my first ever match. That was pretty crazy. Um,
This, yeah, starting intense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then I landed, and I realized I was like, okay, I'm still alive. I should probably sell now.
Yeah. You just you're there on the mat, maybe just like giddy, just laughing, like, oh, that was intense. Oh yeah, maybe I should sell
Yeah,
the injury.
yeah. I landed, and I was just like, can I move? Yes. Okay. Ah. So that was my first memory, and then what else? What else happened that day? There's a few different things. There's a battle royal after that.
Okay, like an over the top thing.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, over the
yeah,
top
yeah.
rope.
So we had that match. Then at the end, it was like a battle royal, and yeah, so it was it's pretty cool. I got $20 a match, so I got $40 that day. That was pretty sweet.
What? And
Yeah.
okay. And how did, if that was your first ever match, then how did you spend, let's say, your first paycheck? How did you spend it? That $40.
Well, see, here's the
Yeah,
interesting thing, right?
yeah,
So the envelope that I got the $40 in, right? I held on to it, and I said, okay, every payday from here until I retire, I'm going to keep it in this envelope in
yeah.
my drawer at my house. So I don't know how much money's even in there now, but every booking, every payday I ever got is sitting in this envelope in my drawer over there.
Nice. Like you've not even put it in the bank, yeah? Just keep it. I
No,
almost
it's
just like
just
under the
sitting there.
mattress, yeah. Just in the
Yeah,
drawer,
it's
yeah.
like a bunch of
Yeah,
it's like a bunch of 20s just sitting in there. I just figured like,
yeah, man.
maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll use it one day for like gear or something, but you know,
Nice.
but yeah, it's kind of a unique thing that I do that I don't know a lot of other guys that do that, but
No, yeah, no, that's definitely a first for me. I've never heard that before. That's cool. How about as a fan then? Your earliest memory. So this it's going back further, yeah.
yeah.
What moment made you realize I want to be a pro wrestler? Or did you maybe have a different journey towards, the training? Or did you?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, okay. So my earliest moment that I can remember in wrestling, I went to the 2006 Royal Rumble when I was 10, and I saw
Wow.
Rey Mysterio win and the whole thing.
Wow.
That was
That's
awesome.
that's pretty insane. That's pretty intense. Insane, yeah.
that was awesome. And then of course, like, what else happened in that show? A few things happened. Edge and John Cena, one of their many amazing matches that they had. Um, Kurt Angle and Mark Henry was the main event. That was pretty cool. And then at the end of the main event, Undertaker came out and like shot lightning out of his hand and made the ring collapse. So yeah, I was there for that. That was the first ever wrestling show I went to. That was pretty crazy.
Whereabouts were you sat? Were you sat like at the top of the
Oh,
arena
all right.
or
So
midway or yeah?
yeah, so like I wanted to sit where I could see the Titantron. So it was like right in the middle. So I'm looking right at the Titantron as if I'm looking at my computer screen right now, but it was like the front row of the very back section, if that makes sense. So
Right.
yeah, that was crazy. And then when Cena came out, that was like the loudest building I've ever been in. It was insane.
Yeah, I remember.
Because he
I
was
remember. Yeah, go
so
on.
so over at that point.
Yeah.
Not so much down the road when everyone started to get sick of him, but like he was so over at that point.
Like I remember. Have you ever been to a WrestleMania yourself?
Yeah, I went to WrestleMania 28 with The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah.
Was
And
the
how
main
was
event.
that?
That was pretty cool.
How was
That
that
was
for you
crazy
personally?
too.
Yeah, yeah.
That was crazy. So like I said, I was a huge Kane mark at this point for some reason. And when Kane chokeslammed Orton off the top rope and won, I like lost my mind. It was crazy because I didn't think for a second that they were going to put Kane over for some reason, and they did. And it was just like I was with my buddy and I was like, "Oh, Kane went over!" Oh my god! But yeah, so it was that, and then what else? I mean, Punk and Jericho. That was a great match.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. One of Punk's best ever feuds. One of Jericho's best ever feuds, I think.
Oh, dude, I know the whole thing with the
The
alcoholic
alcoholism, yeah,
father
yeah,
and all
yeah, yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
that was so
yeah.
great. Oh my god, it was so good.
And then and then the fact that Jericho turned what was a botch with him slipping up on the alcohol, he actually just made it like he just made it work, even though he slipped up.
Yeah,
Because he just got
I
riled
mean,
up
dude,
by it, didn't he? And then just threw the bottle at Punk.
that's another guy, man. Like we're talking about our
Yeah,
inspirations, like
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
promos. I mean, Chris Jericho's the god of promos. It seems like
Chris,
nothing rattles the guy.
Chris Jericho's
You
come up
know,
a lot on these podcasts, yeah, and I can see why. Even seeing what
he's
he's doing
so good,
nowadays, yeah,
so
yeah.
good, and he's how old? Like 50 now, and he's still killing it. Like, dude,
Still going strong.
yeah.
Throwing out fireballs, yeah, like he's in Street Fighter on
I know, bro.
AEW.
Dude, I love that. Like that's something that it's kind of funny. Like once you turn 50, you just automatically know how to throw fireballs all of a sudden. Like you ever seen like Jerry the King Lawler like
Yeah.
throw fireballs and shit? Like
I got 22 years to go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that day.
yeah, right. That's another guy, Jerry Lawler. He kicks ass too.
Jerry Lawler was great. Again, harking back to Survivor Series, the one I watched,
Yeah,
'96.
yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler's such
Hmm.
a heel, but he played it so well.
He's awesome. But
Yeah,
but yeah, if I had to pinpoint it to like one moment where I was like,
yeah, that's
okay,
what I was gonna say next. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. If I had to pinpoint it down to like one of these fan moments where I was like, okay, I need to do this,
yeah.
it was Punk beating Cena at Money in the Bank.
Right, and
That
then
was
running
to
off with the
me,
title. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that to me was like just so captivating and so just
and it felt so real. Right, that's the
right,
thing.
right. Like I wasn't smart mark. Like I thought I was, but I wasn't to the point, that most smart marks are. But it I was just so blown away at how just different and real that felt. Like that was and the crowd was perfect and it was just made like everything about it was just so perfect. I was like, I need to experience this.
Yeah,
And then come to think about it, when was that?
2011.
2011?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2013, as soon as I graduated high school, I was like, yo, I'm doing this shit. Like I,
uh,
so
yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the moment right there, I think. Like I jumped out of my chair. Like I was sitting at home. I wasn't even there.
Right, and it
And I
still
jumped
drew
up and
that
I'm
kind of
screaming
reaction.
at
Yeah.
And I was screaming at the TV, like, and I was thinking to myself, like, if I can make somebody else feel even half like this right now, like, that's what this is all about.
Yeah. So
You
you were
know.
total, so
And
you were totally focused after that point. Yeah, there was no deviation at all. You were just,
yeah, well,
aside from
so
just
here's
getting
what happened.
school, yeah, aside from getting school finished, but after that you're straight in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, actually, I started training in like 20, like I said, what, 2013, and I trained for about a year, then I had to stop because some, some personal things were going on. I couldn't really afford it anymore, and so even though I, wanted to keep going and stuff, I got to the point where it was like, well, I need to either get my shit together like in the real world, or you know real life's gonna fall apart, and then I won't
Mm.
be able to like do anything. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So so I had to step away for a while. Ended up traveling to Jacksonville to go to college. How many? Eight, like 4 years later, and thought to myself, I'm kind of I'm kind of like in a good spot now. I think I can probably try this again, and I did. And I've been stuck to it since. And that's 4 years later now. So I've been consecutively wrestling for 4 years, and in total 5 years.
Nice one. Nice.
It's a weird story, man. But like
Yeah.
something about I think there was like something similar that I heard Stone Cold's podcast with Adam Cole. This was another thing that kind of jumped
Right.
out at me. That was like, dude, you need to do this because his story was so similar to mine, and I was like, that needs to
Shout out
happen.
to the undisputed elite, by the way.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I love this. I
Yeah,
love this shirt, man. It's so retro. I love it.
he's awesome, like in
Yeah.
the ring, obviously and stuff. But to me, he's a just an awesome person. Like
Right.
even
On his
outside of the
Twitch
ring,
and
like
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's just a cool customer, dude. Like he is so awesome. And if it wasn't for that Stone Cold podcast, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Right.
Um, eh, it's kind of funny because that epiphany hadn't really hit me again until just now when we were talking about it.
Mhm.
So you're getting some good content out of me, bro. You're getting some good
Yeah, man.
answers
This is
because
what I like to do, man. Yeah.
these are
Trying my
things
best
that
with these questions. Yeah.
no, and those are awesome questions because like I said,
Yeah.
these are things that I haven't thought about in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
well, thanks
amazing,
for
right?
getting them. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for bringing them to the light, bro. Because
It's amazing, really. Honestly, like what kind of knowledge your brain retains subconsciously, right?
hmm
Hmm.
yeah,
Just
because like I'm
tremendous.
in the 9 times out of 10, I'm just in the mindset of okay, yep, I've got a date this day, and I've got to be there at this time, and I've got to catch this flight, or what. So like I'm not thinking about. Oh, my cat is here now.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
not
saw it.
thinking about. I'm not thinking about like what why we do this thing that we do.
Yeah.
And I think maybe more of us should. Because sadly, you know what? There's some people, not to go off on too much of a tangent here, but there are some people that get into this business for the wrong reasons. And
Right.
it's really awful for the guys that, you know, truly just love the business and just want to be a part of it no matter what. And then there's some guys that come in because they've got some sort of uh what's the word, like insecurities or something that they need to get over, and
Mm.
it's uh, so they feel like, well, I was, I'm not who I feel like I should be, so I can go into this wrestling business and be a different person and this and that. Like that's not what it's about, bro. If you're in this for any other reason than because you just love wrestling at its core and you
Hmm.
understand what it is, and you um the ultimate goal is to get or a visceral reaction out of those people,
Hmm.
to make them forget about life for those 8-10 minutes that you're out there. That's the goal.
Right.
And if
Escapism. Yeah. It's all about the escapism.
right, right, and if you're out there for any reason that's self-serving,
Mm.
you should not be out there. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, that's how I feel.
Mm. Yeah. I
Um,
completely agree. Yeah. Yeah.
especially at this level.
Right.
Like, okay, if you're Kevin Nash and you can just be in this business to make a shit ton of money, good for you. Like, bro, like Kevin Nash, you're awesome. You're 7 feet tall. You're 350 pounds. You're jacked. You're handsome. You're everything there is that you need.
Shout out to Kevin Nash.
I love
I want
Kevin
you on my
Nash.
pod.
Yes, please go on this guy's podcast because no, but and that's not like a slight on Kevin Nash. That's just
Mm,
me saying like if you know if Vince McMahon's going to offer millions of dollars to these guys to come in who don't necessarily even like wrestling, but they learn how to do the craft and everything. Like at the end of the day, I understand it's a business,
mhm.
but on the indie level, though, if you're coming into the indie level and thinking like you're going to be some hotshot, like my shit don't stink guy, like that's not going to work.
Sure,
You know?
sure. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to accept. I think that's the big thing, right? Is you have to be ready to accept, the feedback and the criticism, right? Both, both sides, positive and
Yeah,
negative.
for sure. And like I said, there are some guys out there that, hey, bro, what if you did it this way instead of this way? Screw you. You don't know what you're talking about. All right, I won't give you any more advice as long as I know you. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right. I guess, yeah. I mean, ever since I came out here to China, I've been in like 5 years, and it's not really related to the wrestling, but it is in the sense of keeping an open mind. And to make this kind of move that I did, I have friends and family back home who are like, I could never do what you did. And then you learn a lot about their frame of mind and my frame of mind and why I've been able to
right.
start here so long. And I guess it's the same in wrestling. Yeah, you can probably
Mm-hmm.
spot the people a mile away
Oh,
who
dude, it's crazy. Like,
yeah.
it's crazy how some people have come in, like, have walked in the door, and I know right away that guy sucks, or I know right away this
Yeah.
guy's gonna be cool. You know what I mean? Like, uh, you've had Miles on. Have you had Miles Blackwell on yet?
Yes, he was my first interviewee. Still shows me
Really?
great support, yeah, to this day. Yeah, I can't
Dude,
thank him
I
enough for
love
the support. Yeah.
like, okay, look, wrestling bullshit angles aside,
Yeah.
I love that dude. Okay, he is him. He is probably like one of my top three closest buddies in this business.
Yeah.
If I look, I I moved from Jacksonville to here, right? And
Mm,
I was living with my girlfriend, and we're still together, but I moved down here first so I could kind of get settled, and then she's gonna follow.
right.
When I did that, I packed what I thought was all of my clothes. Come to find out, I'm driving home. I still got clothes in the wash. So I left
Uh-oh.
half my clothes up there in Jacksonville. Reason I
Yeah.
tell you that story is because I would be wearing probably his t-shirt right now if I had it, but I don't because it's in Jacksonville. Um, but anyway, yeah. So he's one of the guys though. Going back to what we are talking about, when he walked in and I met him, I knew right away like this guy gets it. This guy's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
He's also super knowledgeable about the business. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows what he's talking about. It's crazy how some people will get into indie wrestling and not even watch wrestling. Like how what did you
How
do
can you
here,
do that?
bro?
That's like trying to become a voice actor and not watching demo reels of voice actors
Yeah, or like
or
not
listening to. Yeah,
watching.
yeah.
Yeah, or like okay, voice acting, right? That's like if I was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna be a voice actor now. And they're just like, oh, like, do you watch any Mark Hamill like tapes or
It's
anything?
like
I'm just
no.
like, who's that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They're like click, just put the
yeah,
phone down.
like I said, like I understand in the big
Mm,
time when you're 7 feet tall and you've got an amazing look and you are athletic that you don't have to be a wrestling fan. You can go work for Vince and it's not a big deal. And the indies though, where like this whole thing is based on just the love of wrestling, like you're not making money, you're
mm,
you're getting beat the shit out of you. Like you're uh yeah, it's more beneficial not to do indie wrestling than it is to do indie wrestling.
right,
But
right.
people do it because of love of wrestling. And yet there's so many people that I see that do this shit and I could be like, hey, did you ever see this match with Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man? They're like, no. It's like, well, then what the fuck are you doing here, bro? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So there you
man,
go
I
then.
don't know.
That brings up actually a good question I've just thought of. Right. So if you were talking to someone who was just looking to get into the business, right now, let's say you go out your house tomorrow and you meet someone wherever you may be wrestling or training, and someone says, Mike, I want to get into the business. Yeah. So what 5 matches would you recommend they go and watch before they even start training?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I would probably break it down into 5 different categories because there are, a bunch of different kinds of matches. I wouldn't give them all 5-star Dave Meltzer, classics. I would give them like, Hogan and Andre, because that's not a great match, like technically, but just the reaction that the crowd gets is amazing. So you have to throw that in there. You have to throw probably like something like Brett versus Owen,
Yeah.
something crazy technical, like something like that. Then
Okay.
maybe
Going
like
well.
yeah, so we got 2. Let's
Yeah,
see.
too. Yeah.
Maybe like throwing a comedy match or something. Like I saw this amazing comedy match. It was in Japan. It was Kenny Omega versus Toru Yano. And they did a spot. There's one thing that jumps out to me is the spot where Kenny gets his feet tied together somehow. And he does a spot where the tackle drop down leapfrog spot, but his feet are tied together the whole time. So he's jumping,
Right.
hits the rope, jumps back, like jumps over the guy that's on the ground, keeps going, hits the rope. Like it was so funny. Like so something like that, maybe just to throw in a comedy match.
Okay.
Maybe a lucha match. So maybe like
high flying stuff. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so maybe like a Psychosis and Ray from WCW or something, or ECW, or
So yeah, just cover all the bases of styles, So that's
yeah,
that's
and
four.
then the 5th one would be some sort of crazy death match, like
Yeah.
um, mm, I don't know. I have to think about that one because I don't. I'm a huge ECW guy, right? I love ECW. People
I'm
are
thinking like maybe like
mistaken.
TLC, right? I'm thinking maybe the Hardy Boys versus the
Yeah,
Dudleys,
maybe
that kind
maybe
of thing.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, we'll do that one.
There you go then.
The one where Jeff gets speared off the thing.
Oh,
We'll
dude.
do that.
Dude, that was incredible. And I wasn't even there, but just seeing it,
I know that's a crazy moment. But there you
Another
go.
yeah, another good like no DQ, no holds barred. I remember was seeing, and I saw it after the fact, of course, but like Stone Cold versus Booker T in the supermarket.
Yeah,
It's so amazing. It's so
that's
amazing to
awesome.
watch that back. Yeah.
But
Good. Yeah.
yeah. Let me just touch on the ECW for 2 seconds
Sure.
because while I've got this platform, I need to get everything out.
You go
But
for it, man.
so people have this false narrative about ECW that it was only blood and guts and only horrible wrestling and this and that. That could not be further from the truth. I've seen some of the best matches of my life on ECW, and not a single chair was involved in all this. Like they had wrestler, and that kind of going back to like when you said pick out 5 matches that you would give to somebody. I
Yeah.
think I think ECW did a good job of giving everybody every style, every potential type of match. Obviously, they specified in hardcore, but they didn't shy away from lucha and technical, and I mean, they had Eddie, and I think Eddie and Benoit had a program there. Like it's just Shane Douglas is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and he was in ECW. Like he was like their big over. Raven Raven is a great guy if we're talking about psychology. So like people sleep on ECW even still today,
Right. Yeah.
and you need to like that's something that if you're getting into this business, you need to understand that there is a place for you and you just need to find that place. Because for me, right, like I'm somewhat of a normal sized person. I'm like 5'9", 180 pounds, right?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be choke slamming people and power bombing people, or unless it makes sense, obviously. So there's a spot for me in wrestling that would fit my niche, right? Now there's a dog going insane. All of this like Animal Kingdom here, bro.
I know, right? It's like the Jungle Book.
But
yeah, no worries.
sorry about that. But where was I even going? Oh, there's a spot for everybody in this business, right? If you're a big 6'8" guy, don't be trying to do lucha shit. If you're kind of horrible in the ring, you need to have a good character to make up for that. Like there's something for everybody. That's what some promoters don't see, and that's what some of the boys don't see, but it's a fact.
Paul Heyman was a genius, yeah, I think, with ECW.
Exactly. He is he kind of like, okay, so forget everything I just said, right? Because it was
okay.
two words.
Let me just delete that.
No. Forget it. Like
delete.
everything that I just said. Yeah, right. Everything that I just said, it took me like 2 seconds. It took me 2 minutes to explain. Paul Heyman said it in 5 seconds. It was
sure.
You accentuate the positives, you hide the negatives. That's it. That's how you have a successful career in wrestling.
That's
whatever
how
you're good at.
How he's still so relevant today. Like
right. Whatever you're good at, or whatever is a good factor about you, dial that up to 11. Whatever you're shitty at, don't do it.
Right.
Simple as that.
Sorted, man. Good stuff. Right. Okay. I mean, that was pretty great. So before we just look to the future, yeah. Before we look to the near future and then into the future.
Right.
It's time to do some wrestling trivia.
Oh boy.
All right, so I was thinking this is one thing that kept me up last night. I was thinking, what kind of trivia am I going to do? And I found the website is Sparkle. I'm not sure if you've heard of the website. I've used it before, and I found
never heard of it.
And I found one that says WWE wrestlers by their hometown.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Yeah. And all of the answers were hidden to begin with, so I had to start the timer and then just say give up, and then it gave me them all. So now I have them
okay.
all. Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna go through a few, yeah, maybe like between 10 and 15, and we'll see how you get on. Yeah. All right. So first one, let's start easy. Okay. So first one, West Newbury, Massachusetts.
That's John Cena.
Ding ding. Correct. You keep it tally your head, yeah. 1 for 1, yeah. All right. Okay. Next one, yeah. Now keep in mind this is WWE, yeah. So
okay, so it's only WWE.
Right, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So next one, San Diego, California.
That'd be Ray, right?
Yeah, 2 for 2. Nice. Okay.
All
right. Doing well so far. Next one.
Yep.
Next one, Silsbee, Texas.
Oh, that's Mark Henry.
3 for 3. Very nice,
dude. I'm a wealth of knowledge, bro.
He's flexing on us. He's flexing. All right. Okay. All right. Next one. Next one. Here we go. Ooh, let's go to this one. Lucerne, Switzerland.
Is that Cesaro?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
4 for 4. Oh my God, we're going for the clean sweep. Okay.
It's going to be a clean sweep. I can feel it.
Throw something in here then. Okay. All right. Next one. Mexico City, Mexico.
It's current WWE.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of a hint. He was in WWE a few years ago. He's not there anymore. But like, the
Mexico
2010s, he was
City.
there, definitely.
Mexico City.
Mexico
Is that
City, Mexico.
Sin Cara?
Got it. Nice. 5 for 5.
Okay.
Well done. Oh, ooh, okay. Getting a little bit
I
scary,
wouldn't
but
have,
you got it.
I wouldn't have got that without the hint.
All right. Okay. Next one. Preston, England.
Ooh, is that Wade Barrett?
Got it. 6 for 6. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
All right.
To be fair, about that Mexico City one, that could have been like 20 different people.
Okay. All right. Here you go. Another one from another one from Mexico. I'm probably gonna butcher the name here. San Luis Potosi, Mexico. I've said that wrong, I think. San S-A-N. Okay, yeah, you got it.
I think that's Alberto Del Rio.
Got it. 7 for 7. Nice.
Speaking of which, Alberto Del Rio's a douche, but I'll just leave it at that.
Dream match, dream match in the future, yeah. If he's listened to the podcast, I'll watch it.
Yeah, maybe not. You know what? If he wants to come on your podcast, I'll support that. But I don't know if I want to work.
All right. Anyway, back to the trivia. Yeah, 7 for 7. You're doing real well.
That's true.
All right. Next one, Las Vegas, Nevada. Ooh, and he's not in the company.
Yeah,
anymore.
I think I know. I think it's Ryback.
Got it. 8 for 8. Wow. All right. Oh my God, you're gonna get them all.
Where's he gonna end up, man? Where's Ryback gonna end up? Probably nowhere, right?
Well, just like all of us, really. Eventually, when we all get to the great plane of the afterlife, I guess that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I was thinking more. So
I wish you a long life, Ryback. Yeah, I didn't mean to say anything by that, but yeah, I wish you a long life. Okay, all right. Next one, I'm gonna have to throw some in. All right, 8 for 8. I'm gonna have to throw some in different.
Yeah, I need some obscure ones here.
All right, the next one, yeah. Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Would that be Sheamus?
Finally, you got it wrong. Finally got you.
Let's see, no.
Try again, yeah. Try again.
Is it Finlay?
Got it. Yes, 8 for 1. 8 for 1. Oh, you got there in the end, though. There's only 2 guys. Yeah, there's only 2 guys you could have picked.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, sure.
He's from some weird town. I can't remember.
Well, Sheamus is from Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, so
Dublin. That's right. Yeah.
All right, so you're 8 for 1. Yeah, can you finish on a high? Okay, next one and last one.
Okay.
Perry, Oklahoma.
That was Jack Swagger.
There you go.
Perry, Oklahoma. Nice,
man. Well done. 9 for 1. A round of applause there. Well done. 9 for 1. Take a bow. Yeah. Right. Take a bow. Yeah. Do the Adam Cole, the bow. Yeah. All right. Nice one, man. Yeah. Right. 9 for 1, man. 9 for 1. Good stuff. I enjoyed that. That was good. Okay.
Dude, I love trivia, man. Like of any kind.
I just, I watch a lot of trivia stuff, especially like I love Family Feud. So
Family Feud's good. I like Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I like Trivial Pursuit. Like really any sort of trivia game I love.
Jeopardy. I would love if they just did a version of Jeopardy where they just brought wrestlers on and just did wrestling trivia. That'd be so cool. That'd be so like they do like a celebrity Jeopardy, don't they? Anyway, so just do that.
Yeah. Just do like wrestling Jeopardy. I wonder who they would have come up. That'd be funny.
I think they would get like, if you want to do like an AEW one, you'd probably get like Evil Uno, or you'd get like Evil Uno. Who else? I think John Silver would be pretty good on it. Who else could they get?
So could John Silver even see over the thing? I love John Silver. I don't mean to shit on him, but I'm short too. But
I remember, you know what? I remember the WWE versions of The Weakest Link. I don't know if you ever saw those.
Oh, yeah. And Kane was like the smartest guy.
God, they were so good. And Anne Robinson put them all on blast. Like she didn't pull any punches. It was great. Yeah, that was so cool. All right. Back on topic. Yeah. Just going to round off here and look over to the future. Yeah. So, of course.
All right, cool.
Yeah, of course, you got coming up. What kind of dates have you? What other dates have you got coming up in May and beyond this year?
As of now, just the 7th. for
Hmm.
May. June, I'm CWF is pretty booked out for the whole rest of the year. I don't remember the dates off the top of my head. That's which is bad. I probably should. Um but as far as yeah, so I'm only with CWF and CCW right now. I'm trying to get in back. So I'm trying to get in back to where I initially trained at, which is also called CCW. It's down here in South Florida. Um, so then that'll be adding dates. But as of now, May 7th, Pensacola or Milton, Florida. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, and that's it.
Okay. There you
Uh,
go then. Sorted.
well,
And
that's
no, I'm joking.
well, that's it for May.
Okay.
That's not it for the rest of the year. The rest of the year, there's various dates that I don't remember off the top of my head.
No, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope all the fans can definitely see more of you. And looking a bit further ahead,
Yes.
what kind of dream matches are on your mind right now? What's on your bucket list of dream matches? Because I have seen your pinned tweet, but I'll let you talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, I put out a tweet
Last
about
September.
how
Yeah,
I
yeah.
yeah about how I want to work with Danhausen
Okay,
and Jervis Cottonbelly before it's all said and done.
okay.
And this was before Danhausen got signed, obviously. So that's kind of
Sure,
like gonna
sure.
be a
Yeah.
little. It's gonna be a little tougher now, but
Hey man,
um,
hey man. If you make it to AEW too one day.
well, yeah. I mean, if I make it there, the first person I'm finding is him, and I'm showing him the tweet. uh, but him and Jervis was kind enough to reach out and try to said that we should try to figure something out. Um, so I really want to make that happen. I just had a hard time finding a stable place that wants to run the match because obviously everybody knows him, not everybody knows me. So it would be kind of a hard sell to most promoters, but
Right.
I'm confident that it'll happen someday just because of how awesome he was to me when I put that tweet out. Because I don't know if you saw underneath he responded to it and everything. Um, so yeah, those are
Yeah.
my two. As far as like my, I guess 5-year plan goes, like those are two guys I would love to work with at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
5-year and 10-year plan. Yeah. Classic interview question. Classic job
right, yeah,
interview question. Yeah.
right. Um, and I mean, people say like, oh, if you want to work with names, you're just being a mark. Well, if I'm not in this business to work with the best people, then what am I doing?
Right.
Like
Well said. Yeah. Well said.
so like I guess there's no limit to this goal. It's just like by the time my career is over, I want to wrestle with
Sure.
somebody that I at one point looked up to, I guess. That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
So
Kind
like
of like how MGF, was with CM Punk and he had that picture of
right,
him with him
yeah,
as a kid.
right, exactly. So something to that, I want to be able to say that I work somebody that I admire in this business, like long term. I'm not saying that I admire Jervis and Danhausen any less, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
those were two guys that are kind of on the upswing,
Right.
and I want the long term goal would be to wrestle guys that have been around the block 400 times. You know what I mean? To
Right.
gain that experience and that knowledge, and just being able to have that experience. Like, um, uh, so for example, we were just talking about Jerry Lawler, right?
Yeah.
There's this guy that I know that we've wrestled before. We've wrestled each other, and we've had like been in locker rooms together and stuff like that. That just had an opportunity to work with Jerry Lawler
Wow.
on a show, actually at Dory Funk's school.
And was Jerry Lawler wrestling?
I think it was more of an
Like he
interaction.
was
It wasn't so
okay.
much of a match. Like he came out and like punched him or something and he took a bump for him and everything. But even doing something like that is
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, just being
considering the
able,
man had a heart attack, I remember like 10 years ago. And like,
right. No, that was insane. That was crazy. I remember being like
yeah,
13, 14, however old I was, and thinking, oh my God, like, what is happening? This is crazy. No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, but just being able to have an experience like that, to like be able to go and come home and tell your significant other or your parents or whoever, be like, I just went and got punched by Jerry Lawler. Isn't that awesome? Like, like
And they're
I
like,
want to
and
be
your
able
family's like, wait, you got punched? I was like, don't worry about that. I got punched by Jerry Lawler.
that actually happened. I keep going off on these tangents. But that
No,
actually happened one time.
yeah.
I was in a battle royal, and the headbangers were in the battle royal, and I tried my best to stay away from them,
Yeah.
and was somewhat successful. But when I told like my friends and family, like, oh yeah, I was in a battle royal with the headbangers, it was really cool, and they were like, oh, well, they better not touch you or hurt you. I'm like, okay, I'm not telling you nothing ever again if you're gonna react like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like when I was originally training, I was on shows with Carlito. I was on not wrestling him obviously, but just like on the same show um, with Carlito, with Tommy Dreamer, with Sabu, with
I spit in the
the
face of
Headbangers.
people who don't want to be cool.
Dude,
I loved Carlito. He still does the
that was
gimmick. He
cool.
still does the gimmick with the apple, doesn't he? He still does that to
He
this day.
Yeah,
It's
he
great.
did it. He did the gimmick with the apple and everything. And then on that same show, Brutus Beefcake was on the show, and like the hated manager for that promotion ended up getting put in the sleeper hold, passed out, and then Brutus gave him the haircut.
Oh wow.
Like
There you go.
picture that. Like that would be cool too. Like just something like that where it's like, yeah, I get to say that I got my head shaved by Brutus Beefcake. Like
Well, that's what Donald Trump gets to say, right? Was it him or was it who got the head
Vince
shaved?
got
He
his
did.
head shaved.
Oh, Vince, yeah. But
Yeah,
but Donald Trump was there though, right? So he's got
yeah,
that forever, you know. The
right. No,
former
it's just
POTUS, shaved Vince
yeah,
McMahon's
yeah.
head. Yeah,
That's pretty insane to think that
yeah.
one year this dude is tackling Vince and punching him and shaving his head, and then like 10 years later he's
President.
president.
What a weird world, right? What a weird world,
Yeah,
man.
that's crazy. But yeah, man. Like so, yeah. So to kind of tie a bow on that whole
Yeah, yeah.
sentiment, just being able to work with people that I uh, respect, like unquestionably, like in this business, is the ultimate goal. And that if you're gonna sit there and say like, oh, well, if you only want to work a name, you're just a big mark. Like, fine, call me a mark then. I don't care. But you
Yeah.
know, in indie wrestling, if you're not a mark, then what are you doing? Like,
Well said. Yeah. Well said, man. All right, nice one. So, last question, yeah. Last question.
sure, yeah.
At this moment in your career, what are you
Mhm.
most grateful for? You're most
Um,
grateful.
Probably the relationships that I've made with certain guys
Mm-hmm.
along the way. Like, there are even guys from the original CCW, like from 2013, that if I texted now, they would probably pick up. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't spoken to them in a few years, but like I could probably hit them up now, and they would be like, "What's up, bro?" Like nothing happened. That's one cool thing about wrestling, is that the people that you meet in it are, or a lot of them at least, are unapologetically like authentic.
right.
Like there's a lot of real ones out there. Um, I would say, you know, that is probably the thing I'm most thankful for. Like if it had not been for wrestling, I'd have never met, Miles, the person that I hold very closely. Like, even, again, I'm trying to sell people to go to this show in Pensacola,
Sure,
but
sure, sure. Yeah.
if I can just, cut the BS for a second. Kobo Hannon's another one of my like closer buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Harris. I don't know if you know Destin Dawson. or
Piston
if you've had
Dawson.
him on your show.
No,
Yeah.
no. I've seen loads of people, but I'll definitely check him out.
Bottom line, the relationships. That's like the most important thing that I think I've gotten out of wrestling is the relationships.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for that answer. It's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah, like I said, um, I can't plug these guys enough. But Miles Blackwell, Colbo Ann, and Donnie Harris, Destin Dawson, Darion Drummond.
Yeah.
If you haven't met him yet, you need to talk to him.
I saw him too. Yeah, I saw him too on your Twitter. Yeah. Darian Drummond.
Yeah. He's a guy that I would reach out to for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I keep going around in circles. The bottom line is, if it hadn't been for wrestling, I wouldn't have come across these awesome people.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful for that.
Well said. Yeah. Well said. Well, thank you very much for your time. Yeah, and that kind of brings us to a conclusion here. And now,
yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and now the floor is just all out for you. The floor is all yours. So now just let us know one final time what's coming up in the near future and where we can find you on social media and how we can book you and how we can buy your t-shirts, because I know you have a pro wrestling t-store too.
Yes, sir. So, like I said before, dates are booked, but I don't know them off the top of my head, which is probably a bad thing. But I'm sure we could probably, if I send them over to you, you could put them in the description or something like that.
Sure thing. Sure.
There's that. You can find me on Twitter at TVMAnthony. My Pro Wrestling Tees page is linked to that Twitter account. ProWrestlingTees.com/unbelievable M Anthony.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
And yeah,
that's
just how to book you. Yeah, let's fill up your calendar for May a bit. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. How to book me? I guess just hit me up on Twitter and DMs.
There you go. Sorted.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you, man, and all the best for the rest of 2022. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you. I hope I could be back sometime soon. That'd be cool.
Yeah, man. I've said this to a few of the guys so far, man. I say, as soon as you get to AEW, can I have the exclusive?
For sure. 100%.
Thank you very much, man. All the best, man.
All right, man. Thanks, brother.
And as always, not just thank you to Mike Anthony for joining the pod today, but thanks to all of you as well. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring-a-ding that notification bell as well. Thanks very much for joining, and I'll see you all on the next episode of the Tapping Out podcast. Bye for now.